Okay, thank you for tuning in. So it is 3:30 p.m. now, 11th of June 2024. So beginning on the dollar index as always. So the 4-hour time frame is continuing to climb upwards. Following that break of structure right there, we spoke about the break of structure. That was the last lower high that was created before that low was printed, because we closed below that low right there. 4-hour break with a body close, which is what we're looking for. So that's why we've seen euro dollar continue down to the downside. Okay, that's why we've seen that. What I'm going to do is look at Oanda, because I do prefer that data feed. Okay, let's start from here. So on a monthly, remember we have this down here, don't we? Monthly imbalance. We've got that. Could be acting as liquidity. Going down into the weekly, but first of all, if we remember, the range is from this low to the high, which this also aligns within a discount, which is quite nice, to be honest. Weekly, I'm going to keep that on. And then weekly, if we remember, this was the structure points that we broke. So this is the weekly structure. We had a low, a high, higher low, higher high, break. Okay, broke that structure right there. Weekly break. Comes back into premium prices very nicely, and we trickle to the downside. If we go to the daily time frame, we can see a similar thing unfolding on the daily. Very, very easy to see. So we've got a low, a low, a high, higher low, higher high, and then we had a break of structure right there. Price comes into premium, continuation to the downside, price comes into premium, which potentially leaves this open because we've got that as well. All right, so let's just mark that on, that break of structure on the daily. Daily break right there. We've got a weekly break, daily break. All right, so price has come into premium, took these highs out. And what price has also done now on the 4-hour time frame. So the 4-hour is actually aligned with these two structures. So if we go to the 4-hour, you'll see what I mean. So we're now going to draw on 4-hour structure points. So all the way from down into the low. Okay, represented by the red dots. The low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price did what? Broke that structure point right there. So that's a 4-hour break. Okay. Because we were bullish, and then price has gone bearish right there. So what we want to be doing now is looking at potential areas in which price can retest before we continue to the downside. What I'm going to mark on is this 4-hour imbalance right there. Okay, so from this high down into the low, that will now be in a premium. So if price decided to trickle back up into here, could be a great opportunity to wait for a 15-minute break of market structure before price continues down to take that hypothetical low, take that low, and then potentially even take that low there to come into this monthly imbalance down here. So that could be a great move. So that's what I'm actually looking for on this, to be honest. Okay. This is a perfect example of trade what you see, not what you think. So this is what I'm seeing. I know we're coming out of a 12-month area, but this still could be on the cards, this monthly. Okay, so on the daily as well, what we have is that imbalance right there as well, along with this daily supply. So this is the last bullish candle before the bearish move right there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on this. That is what I'm looking at in terms of anything we can find our feet at. I don't see anything prominent really. The price could find its feet at. This is why I'm thinking this low could be vulnerable, and then this low here as well. Okay, just following with the DXY, you know, because we had that break of structure on the 4-hour coming out of this daily demand area. It was a liquidity POI. Why was it a liquidity POI? Because this POI took liquidity before going in the other direction. It took out that low before shooting to the upside. Okay, so for those of you that follow along closely, you will know that I had this marked on for a couple of weeks now, and price has reacted from it very, very nicely. Also took out the previous monthly low. Vice versa on EU, we took out the previous monthly high right there. So this is a monthly time frame. Took out the previous monthly high. Cause for concern, liquidity grab, and down we come. The nice thing about this as well is it all happened within premium prices of daily bearish structure. Okay, this is actually the wrong one. Let me go on to Oanda, sorry. Get rid of that. I just prefer Oanda's data feed, to be honest. It's a lot cleaner in my opinion. So that's that there. The previous monthly high, PMH. Okay, we've actually took out the previous weekly high as well. The previous week. So a big liquidity grab right there. Again, as I've just said, it all happened within premium daily structure prices, just following that. Okay, so that low could be next, 1.06. So GBP USD then. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go on to Oanda on this as well, just to start afresh more than anything. So from a monthly standpoint, this is the area that we're coming out of. Monthly imbalance. We've got a monthly imbalance to the high as well, which is resting above that high, like so. So we've got that to contend with. Rest in liquidity. What price has done on this, similar to EU and similar to the DXY, is price has took out the previous monthly high, like so. So what we could be seeing is this could be a cause for a pullback. The fact that we've took out that liquidity, that could be a cause for a pullback. I don't think we're gonna start breaking these lows. If we are gonna do that, then what I'd be looking at is this. But I don't think that could happen. But then again, we need to be prepared for any situation. Then I'd be looking at that to be tapped into, which is a weekly imbalance. And it's the only one that's fresh in this entire leg. The only one that's fresh and unused. So the nice thing about this as well is it aligns within discount prices. So if we do decide to come down, we've got that right there. And also we've got liquidity resting above as well, which is quite nice, to be honest. Okay. So I'm going to leave that Fibonacci on there. I'm going to take it off the smaller time frames because we don't need to see it on those. So this is what I'm looking at. The fact that we've come out of this monthly, it is nice. It is nice. We do have that above there as well. If we did want to go bullish, it would make sense. Going down into the daily. Going down into the daily, let's just mark on some structure together. It's a little bit messy at the minute, GBP USD, in my opinion. So let's have a look. This is what I'd mark on. So we've got these lows down here, right? So we've got a low. This is daily structure now. We've got a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Where can we draw our Fibonacci from? Well, it's from here, and we want to be seeing a discount to call it true structure. Okay, so what price has done is this. It's just made that high, and if that high was to continue to, well, if that high was to be taken, sorry, then that would be the higher low. But because price hasn't done that yet, we can't call that the higher low. So this is why I'm saying it's a little bit messy at the moment in terms of structure. Let's go to the 4 hour and try and pick this apart. So 4 hour structure is slightly different, okay, in respect of this. So let's just go through this. So from the high, 4 hour, right? So again, red dots, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. Okay. With this structure, what price has done is it's broken that, because that's the low. Therefore, that would have been the last structure point, so to speak. So what we can do is we can mark this on. And this is our 4 hour break, right? Bullish break to the upside. So following this structure, that would be our low. And therefore, this would be our high. Why would that be our high? Because we've not had a discount from here since breaking that structure. Okay, so that would be our high. Therefore, we would want to see discount prices. So basically anything below this line here. So anything within here, if we are going to continue bullish to break that high. Okay. So what we'd now need to do is, because we can't really see anything, we're too zoomed out on the 4 hour, what I'm going to now do is go to the weekly, because I'm now going to look for areas within this discount. So there you can see the 4 hour break. I'm just going to take that off the weekly time frame because we don't need to see that on the weekly. We do have a weekly imbalance right there, but I don't really like that because it's not within a discount, so I'm not going to draw it on. So what we do have right at the low, and actually this is very, very interesting because this aligns with what I was talking about on GJ. Now you might be asking, why is that relevant to GU? Well, it's the pound against the dollar and pound against the yen. So the pound against the dollar, obviously we have that leg there. So we have, look, this is the only available fresh imbalance within this entire discount zone. Okay. Everything else has been used, or there isn't one. There wasn't anything on the weekly. And going down one more time frame, obviously on the daily we can see that. So this could be a very, very nice area for price to be magnetized into. And what do we have above that? We have this. And what is that? It's liquidity. It's a low above a daily imbalance that is within a discount of a bullish 4 hour leg. Okay. So yeah, that could be a very, very nice opportunity to go long from all the way down here. So following that thesis, obviously for price to come down into here, price could potentially set up a short opportunity, and price has actually just come into this bearish daily imbalance today, in fact. So just for the lack of this, just for the sake of this video, let's look at a potential opportunity if price decided to give one. So what I'm going to do is just going to have a look. Okay. So yeah, price is coming to that daily imbalance. We've also got a 4 hour imbalance there as well, which is interesting. Okay. So you notice how we're just lining everything up now. Slowly. Just going down the time frames. So we've got a 4 hour. Let's have a look if we have a 1 hour imbalance. We do, but it's not fresh. I personally like to trade out of fresh ones. Okay, so a 4 hour area. What I can do is take this daily area away, just because we've now refined it into a 4 hour zone. So now what we could be looking for is a 15-minute break. And we've actually just had that right there. Actually, no, I don't think we've closed below that. No. But this would be the 15-minute low for price to break. Okay. So for the time being, it's not done that, but it's worth keeping on. So I'm going to keep that on there. Okay, so we can just put this on here, look. 15-minute break, bottom. Okay, this is what we need to see, a closure below this low, below this line. All right, so we've not seen that just yet, but if we do, then like I said, that'll be a great opportunity to go short into there, into this daily imbalance. Oh, sorry, it's down there, look. You could even just target the liquidity itself. But I really do like that, so I'm going to keep an eye on this. And in fact, I'm going to get rid of this FXCM chart, and I'm going to put that back on there because I really like what we've done with that together. So I'll put that there. So this is GU. I'm going to take that off the daily. So that's what I'm waiting for. And what I'm actually going to do is screenshot this. Okay, I'll just save it. And then we can recap to see if that happens. All right. So that's GU. And the reason, what I said earlier about it matching up with GJ is because on GJ, if we remember, this is the daily imbalance on GJ that's also aligning with this daily bullish structure. Now, this isn't me saying that, right, we have to come down into here and then we have to then break that high. Even if we catch a sell down into there, that's going to be a phenomenal move because as we spoke about earlier, that's 700 pips. So from the current market price down into there, look, 700 pips, 693 pips. So that's going to be an absolute monster of a move. So, and like I said as well, where we are now on GJ, okay, where we are now on GJ is within a premium of 4-hour bearish structure. Now, yes, this is internal to the daily bullish structure, to the blue dots. This is how I just like to keep track of it. I just like to keep the colors for the different time frames. Because visually, for me, then I know where we are without having to think about it too much all the time. So yeah, from a 4-hour perspective, this is the range. So from the high down into the low, we've achieved premium. We actually took out equal highs as we spoke about on the 1-hour time frame. On the 1 hour, you can see I've got some 1-hour imbalances outlined here, sorry. Take that off. So what price has done, I'm not going to get into any trades now because it's too late in the day for me. But what price has done is it's obviously created that bearish imbalance right there. All right. If we go to GJ on FXCM, because I just want to double check the data feed. So on GJ on FXCM, this was already used, but on this one it's fresh. So this is going to be interesting to see if this plays out. So this would be the entry. So this is the 1-hour imbalance right there. You can see that. Okay. So going down into the 5-minute, that would have been the entry right there. So I'm just going to keep note of that. If this plays out, then I may just transfer to Oanda. And then 1 to 3 up there. But like I said, we are technically bearish on the 4-hour, but we're bullish on the daily. So it's kind of like which one's going to play out. Obviously, we never know fully exactly what's going to happen. All we can do is just stick with the process, essentially. But yeah, like I said, what price has done now is created that 1-hour imbalance. If this was a new session, say if we were just entering London session right now, then I'd be looking at shorting from here. But because of the fact that we're now coming to the end of the day, this might be mitigated through Asia session, at which point I'm not interested at all because that's not my trading hours. So therefore we could take the high and continue with that bullish play. So there's a couple of things outlined in what could happen right there. What I'm going to do is just leave these markings on, and we can revisit tomorrow and yeah, just see what's happened and why. I think it's good to do this. I think it really, really is good to do this. Sort of aligning with the daily structure, though. This is where sometimes it can get a bit fiddly, so to speak. Because we've come into this weekly imbalance on GJ. Right? We've come into that weekly. If we then go down into the daily, we can see very, very clearly that we also came into a daily time frame imbalance. Right? So this is my thoughts. This is my thought process. ideally we want to buy low, sell high. So if I wanted to buy this from a daily time frame perspective, I want to see it come below this blue line, right? But because the momentum of GJ is very, very strong to the upside and has been for quite some months now, or years in fact, the fact that we've come into that weekly imbalance, the fact that we've come into that daily imbalance, and then if we couple that with the fact that the daily time frame is still bullish, okay, because we can see that we closed above that high, therefore this is the new high. And then if we go into the 4-hour time frame, this was bearish structure coming into there. However, on the 1-hour time frame, we've actually put in bullish structure. So let me take that back now. So the bullish structure on the 1-hour time frame is as follows. So this is the low, because this is coming out of the daily imbalance. So we can do this a different color now. So this is now orange. This is the low, this is the high. Oh, sorry. Got the magnet tool on. That's the high. That's the higher low. And the moment we close above that high right there, that's the confirmed higher high on the 1 hour. So right there. Okay. With this though, we've not actually come into a discount either. So I'm very wary of this potential setup right here, because that is technically the new range. Okay. So is this bullish structure just internal to this 4-hour bearish structure? It would make sense if we have a pullback, just based on those candles to the downside. They're very, very strong, as we can see, as I mentioned in the previous live session. And I'm just going to take that off the 4-hour. They're very, very strong candles to the downside. Yes, we've come into this, but that could have just been a catalyst for a pullback. Price could have just come into here to then make it come back up into premium before we continue down. We've got that low there to target, and that is the daily imbalance right there. Okay, so that wraps this live session up. I hope that made sense. Has been a bit choppy to trade recently on GJ. Okay, as shown with the results so far this month. But you know, today we had a 5% gain in the morning that I closed, and then I closed out a minus 0.2% loss, and closed out a minus 1% loss. So we're going in the right direction. Like I said before, it is on the second week of June, so still plenty of time to recover for this month. And as I've said, if we can get that move to the downside, very, very nice, with the 700 pip move. Because if I can get the entry aligning with the entry model that I'm using for the GJ system, we could actually hold it to the lows. Because remember, the system on here is capped at 3R. This is just what I've back tested and seen that works fairly well. But you know, putting my trader head on and understanding market direction and understanding market structure and all the rest of it, sometimes with a mechanical edge you can actually cap yourself in terms of profits. So why do that? Basically, if I've got an idea of where the market could be heading, why not leverage that knowledge and leverage that idea if we are in a position, a trade, I mean. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you once again for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Discord, and I'm more than happy to help with any questions you may have. We've got through quite a lot today. We've gone through DXY in detail, EU in detail, GU in detail, and GJ. Like I said before, I'm going to keep these markings on my chart, and then we can go over them tomorrow and see what's happened and keep forecasting. for the days ahead and weeks ahead and months ahead. So yeah, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you in tomorrow's live sessions. So thank you guys, take care, trade safe.